Hi, this is Charles Capp, and I'll be demonstrating the game Julius Caesar today using the program Vassal. Vassal is a computer program similar to Microsoft Word, where you install and download it. Install it on your computer, and then it looks similar to this up here. And after you go into the module section, and you download the Julius Caesar module, now you are required to have a copy of the game to play Vassal, but this is a nice way to play people online or play solo. You don't have to worry about your cat eating chits or knocking things over. So after you have the module in a folder on your desktop called modules or something like that, you go to open module and you select the module. After the first time you run it, it shows up like this, and then after that you just open it up and it shows up in the list. So if you want to look for an opponent online, you can click online, but for today's example we're going to click offline, and we're going to play solo just so we can take a look at the board here. So taking a look at the map, you can see that there's some really nice markers. The ones in the game, the real game, are beautiful. These are a very good depiction of it, but it's not as nice as the actual wooden blocks. You can see this scenario is already set up. The turn marker is here. Each turn we'll play 5 cards, and at the end of the 5th card we'll go into win or attrition and have to suffer losses possibly. So we'll take a look at that in just a second. So looking at the map, you can see each city here has a value, and when your army controls that area by having an army presence in there by itself, it's considered to having control of that. And you count up those value points here, and whoever gets 10 first at the end of the 5th card wins the game. If it goes all the way to the very end here, whoever has the most victory points wins the game. So let's go ahead and bring our markers back by clicking on the world icon here. So now we can take a look at the blocks and see where they are on the board. Some of your reinforcements are required to come in a certain way, and we'll look at the pool here. And these are pools of the units that are available to come back into the game with you using your cards, and we'll explain how that works in a second. But for right now, we'll start with the cards. So each player will draw a hand of 6 cards, and we're exposing both of those just for the purpose of the demonstration. So we've drawn our cards out, and now we each have to discard 1 card. So we want to look at the possibilities with our card here. We have event cards, which have a nice effect on the game. Some nice little tricky things can happen. And then we've also got the move cards and the levy cards. So looking at the top left, the number here indicates how many units can move, and the bottom 2 reflect how many reinforcements or how many steps you can add to injured blocks. So looking at this one, we're going to go ahead and discard this one for Pompeii, and we've got quite a few powerful cards here. Not too many reinforcements though, so we will do a discard on this one here. Okay, so now we have our hands all set, and now we take turns alternating cards. So each player decides what he wants to do first. Does he want to concentrate on moving forces around? Does he want to concentrate on the levies? Since all 3 of these cards are, well, this one's only a group move for 1. So we'll go ahead and just lay a card out here. And if we were playing against another player, we would notice that on the bottom right of each card there's a hidden marker, and this just lets you know that your opponent cannot see that card. Same thing happens in all your units. So we'll flip the cards over, and Caesar wins ties, but he has a 3 here, so he will go first, and the person with the lesser group moves second. So sometimes going second is a good thing. So let us do Julius Caesar's movement. So Julius Caesar can pick any block here, And with road limitations here of 2 to there, and there's 3, so he can do 4 across this road or 2 across here. So we're going to go ahead and move here for 1 movement. And for our second movement, we will move 1, 2. Now that is our movement. And now for our steps, we get 1 levy. Let's go ahead and discard that. And we'll take a look at our blocks and see what we can do there. So looking at the blocks, some blocks can come in any friendly port, such as the auxilia. Some are required to come into a particular city. Some are required to come into ports, which are the boats here. And whenever you use a levy, you bring it in at 1 strength. So if we wanted to bring a boat in here, first we have to bring it down to 1 in order to bring it in, and we bring it into a friendly port city. So since Rome does not have a, we can bring them into Massala, so we'll put that boat there. So part of our next move, we can actually move that onto water and try to get the control of the water area there. So that is it. That's all it is for the Julius Caesar's turn. And now Pompey will do his 2 movement. He will select to take a look at what he has here. Now typically he wouldn't see what he's attacking. So his first movement will be moving to here. And his second movement will be moving to here. So we've got 4 blocks in there, and that town can only support 3 in winter attrition, so in a couple turns we've got to make sure to remember to get him out of there. So we're going up against 3 blocks if we decide to attack here, and looking at our strength of the units, the A, B, C, D indicates which unit fires first. So looking at this, the B3 is the leader, and he would get to fire first. And since he's a 3, you would hit on a 1, 2, or a 3. The C3s would go second, and they would fire in 1 dice for each strength they have, which is a 3. And he would be hitting on a 1, 2, or 3. Now the C2 rolls 4 dice. As you can see, the 4 at the top indicates his strength. He goes third in the battle sequence, but he hits on a 1 or a 2. And the boat in port rolls last, which is a D3, which hits on a 1, 2, or 3. Looking at what we're fighting here, which normally we wouldn't know, Antonius is an A, which would fire first before anyone, and he would fire 2 dice because of his strength, and he would hit on a 1 or a 2. So let's go ahead and move them into battle here, just to show you a battle sequence of what that would look like. Alright, so that's our 1 movement to here, and then 2 movement would be moving from here to here. And now we get to add 2 steps to a friendly port. So in Syracuse, we only have that 1 unit there. Taking a look at our pool, we'll bring a boat in also, and we'll take him up a step. Sorry about that. Bringing him in at 1 strength, and then taking him up a step using the second levy here, and that's the end of our turn. So each player takes turns going back and forth, playing 2 cards, and the events go first. The higher card goes first, as far as the number of moves goes, and if there's a tie, Caesar wins those ties. So now we're going to take a look at a battle real quick, and we'll place a marker here so we can keep track of it. And we'll put all the units onto the board in the order that they can attack. So we've got Bs, C2s, Ds, C3s, C3s, C3, and As. Okay, so in this battle, Antonius will attack first with 2 dice. He rolls a 4 and a 1. Since he hits on 1s or 2s, that's a hit on us, and we have to choose it from our strongest unit, which is this unit here. So we lose a step, and that takes effect immediately. So he's down to 3 dice for his next attack. Now Pompey is next. He's a B3, so he rolls 3 dice. He hits on 1, 2, or 3, and that applies 2 hits immediately to his strongest unit. So that's blue step. He's down to 1. Now his C3 can attack with 1. That's a miss. The Ravenna unit hits with a C3 with 3 dice. And that's 1 hit. His strongest unit's here. The Tarraco unit will attack with 2 dice. Hitting on a 1, 2, or 3. He rolls a 2. So our strongest unit is our choice because we have 3 that are a tie here. So lose a step. And then our last attack will be the D3 with 2 dice. 1, 2, or 3 is hits. 1 is a hit, and now we have to take that off. We don't want to take it off our leader unless we have to. And that is the end of phase 1. So now that's how the battle sequel works for the first time. Caesar has the chance to retreat or stay and keep battling, and they basically go back and forth. If the battle is not resolved by the 3rd time, the attacker has to retreat back to a friendly area, or any available friendly that's not occupied by an enemy. That's the basic introduction for now, and we'll get to a little more about the game as far as sea movement and things like that in our next lesson. Thanks so much.